By the way, Lily, whatever happened to you bringing me a grandchild? I'm getting pretty old over here, so I'd like to see my grandchild's face pretty soon. You're going on about that again? You and I have already talked about how we aren't thinking about a kid yet, right? We're moving at our own pace over here, and we don't want to be rushed. So please, just stop bringing things up about babies for the time being. The fact that you're saying things like that must mean you can't even bear a child then, right? Huh? What is that supposed to mean, Jennifer? You've been acting very strangely. You have all this time on your hands being a housewife right now, and yet you still won't get pregnant with my son's child. That's strange. You have to be hiding something from us, right? I'm sure I've said this plenty of times now. I am not a housewife right now. I am working from home, as a matter of fact. I'm sure something like that is incomprehensible to someone of your age, but couldn't you at least try to understand me? Ugh, that lie again. It's always so easy to tell when you're going to pull out that lie on me. You really need to try better at hiding things that you don't want others to know about. Maybe take some classes from a pro on how to lie. What? I'm not lying right now, though. Tell me, what makes you think that I'm lying to you? What you're trying to say to me is that you work remotely from home, right? To be someone who can work from home for a company all the time, you'd have to be pretty dang amazing, right? You can't possibly be that smart of a woman to do something like that, right? You didn't even go to college, making you a pretty dumb woman. Ugh, that's right. I never went to college, automatically making me a really stupid woman. Ha ha ha. No matter what evidence there is that shows otherwise, you're always going to say that about me. Well, that's fine with me then. Oh, are you getting a little upset now? There really is nothing cute about you. You can't make any kids and can't work a proper job. You're so ugly that you can't possibly see yourself being unfit for my son. Yet for some reason you keep trying to be his wife. How about you get on with that divorce already, please? It would save everyone else around you a whole lot of pain and time. I've told you that we both do not want kids yet. How many times must I say that for you to get a hint? By the way, here's something a little more urgent that I need to tell you about. Would you stop coming into our house all the time and taking things from the kitchen? I'm just coming over to make sure that the food you're cooking isn't gross and inedible. If you were to be feeding my son bad cooking, I wouldn't allow you to continue getting away with it. It seems that so far you've been making decent food for him, so that's good. But today that stir-fry you made was a little light on the seasoning, right? That's the amount of seasoning that your son happens to like on his stir-fry. I always make sure to check with what he likes before I cook, so stop worrying about what I'm doing for him. Also, when you came in to check on that stir-fry, you went and ate most of it, leaving barely any for your son to have a dinner. He was pretty upset by that, you know? Well, that's your fault for not making enough of that stir-fry for me to enjoy as well, right? If you're going to make food like that for dinner hours prior, then you need to make enough for everyone. How come you aren't already aware of things like that? Because we never asked for you to come over to our house. The only reason I made that food up around lunch is because I was going to be out late that evening and wasn't going to have time to cook with Brent home. But then you came in before he came home and ate most of the food, which neither of us expected to happen. If you had told me before that you'd be coming and wanting food, then I would have made you something to eat as well. I make decisions like coming over to your house or not on the fly. It's a real pain in my butt to always have to tell you when I plan to be over at your place or not. That's why I just show up when I want to, like yesterday. And what's so wrong about that? I ended up making him some food in your place in the end. The thing is, with you acting like that, you're bothering the both of us. I make a schedule for the week of what I plan to make and buy groceries based on that. You coming in and making food like that with those ingredients ends up ruining my plans. And I have to go back to the store to buy more things. If you're getting all bothered by that, then you must be a really picky woman. I guess you really aren't fit for my son, like I was saying. How about you leave him now? There's no way I can live with my son being married to a woman who's always so upset about the smallest little things. If you want to stay with him, then why not try to deal with things a bit more? The fact that you keep acting so wildly makes it very difficult for Brent and I to focus on our lives. At the very least, let me know that you want to come over before you start coming. Although by that point, there wouldn't really be any reason to telling me now, would there? Being married to Brent also means that you have to deal with me. If you don't like this, then you are more than free to leave him whenever you please. I will not care. Why do you have so much confidence in yourself like that? If you keep things up, you're going to really piss off your son, and then things will not be easy for you anymore. I think it's time you started to realize some things. I am able to do whatever I want to you, when I want to. I can make you leave my son at any moment, and until you understand that, I'm going to keep doing things that set you off. I already hate the fact that a useless woman like you is the wife of my Brent, making it almost impossible for him to ever live a happy life. From what it sounds like, you're trying to cause drama in our relationship then. If that's the case, then I've had enough. There's no point in wasting any more of my time with you, so let's call it here. I have some things to tend to now, so I'll be going.
I'm sorry that my mom has been causing more problems for us. But you were at least able to deal with her without there being too many emotions, right? And were you able to make it where you needed to go?
Yeah, I'm fine. And I just arrived and got done checking on a few things. I've been pretty busy here, actually, so I'm sorry for not texting you sooner. How was work today?
I was able to say everything I needed to. And because of that, I'll be able to move on to the next couple of steps. But I have to ask you, are you really okay with all of this? As a man who would like to be like a boy sometimes, I'm a bit upset with how things have had to end up. I would love to do so many more direct things, but that would be immature of me, I'm sure.
What are you talking about? There's nothing about what you're wanting to do that's childish or rash. I know that you're putting in a lot of effort to help me out here, and that's all I care about. Although I hope you're aware that from here on out, you have to do more than just the bare minimum. Make sure you understand all of what I mean by that, all right?
I understand. No need to worry about that. From here on out, I'll make sure to do everything in my power to support you and what you do. And that's why this time, I'm going to give it my all to prove that to you. But, I really am thankful for this, Lily. Actually, for everything.
Don't worry about it. Also, I'd really been wanting for something like this to happen. I want to take care of all the problems you've been having along with my own. And actually, speaking of problems, there was some more things coming out of your mom's mouth today.
What? More? Was she going on about this yesterday as well? I'm sure she said all kind of stupid things this time, right? I'm so sorry about her.
Yeah, she was talking about what happened yesterday, but you don't have to be sorry for it. It was the same old from her, so I wasn't actually that surprised or hurt by any of it. But that was the last straw for me.
Yeah, I know. So far, it doesn't seem my mom has changed her stance on things whatsoever. I think that if we were to do nothing about her, then things would really get out of hand between us.
That's right. So let's make sure we get away from her as soon as possible. And if the small chance of her finding out about our plan does happen, at least we know there's literally nothing she can do to stop it. I think we should just let her keep having fun sifting through the kitchen and fridge while living in her fairy tale world where she thinks everything she's doing is all right.
Yeah, that's right. I really hope this whole plan goes off without any issues.
Don't worry, it will. I'm sure of it. Also, this will mean that for you and I, we'll finally have our dream come true, right? We should be getting excited about all of this.
Ah, that's a good point. But just know that there are a few things that I might want to say to her. I'm no longer her puppet anymore, so... And well, I want her to know that very well.
I can understand wanting that. And you have put in a lot of effort to get to where you are now. Even if most of that effort had to be used moving in a way your mom hoped for.
But thankfully you came along and made sure to tell me that it was okay not to do as she said. I am so thankful that you saved me from her.
You don't have to thank me for that, though. It was pretty obvious what was happening to you wasn't okay. Your mannerisms and such all told me signs that were as clear as day. Luckily, you really did listen to me and went to go see that therapist. Your mom really poisoned your mind.
She sure did. The scary thing is, I wouldn't have never been able to notice anything wrong with me on my own. To think that all those things she was doing to me weren't normal. That's beyond crazy to me, even to this day, Lily. But that did all lead to things like my anxiety being through the roof at times, and me passing out when I became overstressed.
Thank goodness I was there with you when you passed out. If something worse than that had happened to you, I don't know how I could have managed. I might have lived with so much hate for your mom that I would have never been able to free myself from it.
I always thought what she was telling me was right, and never noticed that what she was turning me into was the same monster that she is. I'm sure back then I was a huge pain for you to deal with, right?
Don't worry about that anymore. I'm over it all now, and we're almost to the finish line. And after we've crossed said finish line, you and I will finally be able to make the family we've always been wanting. I've heard all about what's happening. You both went and bought yourselves a brand new house, right? Well. I never thought you guys would do such a thing for me. How wonderful. Huh? You're right about how Brent and I bought a brand new house. But how does that have anything to do with you, Jennifer? Because I'm going to be moving in with the both of you, right? I've always wanted to live in such a large house like that one. So when I heard that my dream would finally be coming true, I knew things would be perfect for me. It would be even more perfect, though, if it was just my son and I living there. Hold on. What are you going on about right now? Did you think that you could hide buying that new house from your mother-in-law or something? Oh, I know all about this kind of stuff because of Brent. I'm going to live in that house with the both of you. It's already been decided, and there's nothing you can do to change it. I know that you hear about this sort of stuff from him, but you're not going to be moving in with the both of us, all right? And since when have any of your opinions ever mattered to me? I'm saying that I'm going to be living there with you both, so that's what will happen. That's what I thought you'd say. Well, if you can make it to the new house, then I guess you can live with us. I'd like to see you try, actually. So, you're letting this happen now? Hearing you actually agree with what's happening is a little bit disturbing, to tell you the truth. Well, it's not like anyone was going to listen to you anyway, so it's only natural that you learn to obey what I say. That's right. I'm glad we've both come to an understanding here, especially myself. Therefore, I'll no longer need to keep resisting you. So please come on over and move in with us. I heard from Brent already about when you're both planning on moving in. I hope you're both looking forward to seeing me again. We do indeed look forward to seeing you. By the way, I forgot to ask where your new house is. Could you please give me the address? I think I'm in the right area right now. I was thinking that by the time I got into this neighborhood, I'd see all kinds of large houses, but that doesn't seem to be the case at all. I think this house I'm in front of now is yours. Is the front door and everything open right now? What are you doing, Jennifer? We aren't going back to that area. Huh? What are you talking about? The house you both bought should be in this neighborhood, right? Who told you that was ever the case? That neighborhood? Are you talking about the neighborhood that Brent and I had been living in before? We didn't buy any house in that area. Huh? Then where the hell is the house you both bought? Tell me your new address right now. No thank you. I'm not in the mood to tell you where we're at. And even if I was, it wouldn't help you any. We're both overseas now, so what would you be able to do? What? What do you mean by that? We bought a new house overseas. Do you have a passport at all, Jennifer? I know you were saying before that you'd never been out of the US, but I thought I should ask. If you don't have a passport, you might need one before even attempting to look for us. Excuse me? So you bought a house outside the US? Why would you do that? You want to know why? Because both Brent and I wanted to get as far away from you as we could. Huh? Are you both trying to run away from me? Well, to be honest, that's right. We're both fed up with having our lives getting all messy because of you. So we thought that the best option was to put some distance between us and you. And that's why we're both overseas now. Are you frickin' kidding me? You know that I can't allow the two of you to do this to me, right? What? So what are you going to be able to do about this then? There is literally nothing you can do to us anymore. You both get a divorce right now. I am not going to let you get away with kidnapping my son from me. I will not allow this. You come back here right now and plead for my forgiveness. You really think that by throwing a fit like a child right now is going to get me to agree with you and come back? I'm sorry, but neither of us are coming back. Brent has had his eyes open to the kind of monster you are and agrees with me that he cannot go back to you. He's not going to do as you say anymore, so you better get used to that. Lily, have you gone and brainwashed my son? How dare you brainwash your own husband like that into hating his mother? You are the worst woman ever. I hope you realize that you're talking about yourself there. What happened to you brainwashing your son into being a younger version of you? Because of you, your son was acting like a complete jackass, and it took a lot of work to get him back to the way a proper adult should act. I hope you understand just how much damage you did to him that won't be reversed easily. What are you going on about? When it comes to kids, they take after everything their parents tell them. You have no idea what you're talking about right now, you useless wife. You have no place to talk when it comes to the way I've raised my son. Then don't be upset by what's happened because of what you've done. The way you raised him is the exact reason why he wants to run away from you forever now. You understand that, right? You tried to make him the same exact person you are, and as a result of that, he's running away. That's because of you, Lily. You went and brainwashed my son into thinking I was the monster, and that's why he's leaving me. If he were to just keep doing things exactly the way I say to, he'd be happy right now. Give me back my son. I'm sorry, but he is not your toy. He's not your doll. He's not your puppet. So stop asking for me to give him back to you like he is such a thing. Brent has had to grow up living under your oppression, being harmed by everything you said and did to him. When something he did wasn't what you wanted, you'd blame him for it, even though it wasn't even inherently wrong. I sure did yell at him and blame him. Everyone knows that if a child does not do exactly as their parents ask, that they are in the wrong. And that's why when Brent wasn't able to get into the company you told him he had to get into, he started to blame himself for everything and quite literally tore himself apart. Yet even after that day of pain and suffering under his own mental strain, he continued to fight now and found himself work where he'd made quite a bit of money actually. But getting there was not easy for him because of all the trauma he's received from you. The inside of his head is always a war zone. However, we're not going to let that happen anymore, and that's why we made sure to put a lot of distance between you and us. That is not something you should be intervening in, though. That kid should be working at a far better company than the one he ended up in. Yet he started to date you, and things began to change with him, and that's why he failed to get into that company. It was all your fault. Believe whatever you'd like to, I guess. Just know that things did not end there for him, though. Once we got married, you only became more toxic and started to come over to our house and go through the fridge. You would complain about the things I made in front of him or to me over the phone, and then would throw things of mine away, eat them, or make your own dishes using the food I had bought. And it's not even like Brent liked the food you cooked for him anyway. What did you say? You've never once listened to anything your son has said to you, and that's why this will come as a shock. But Brent hates your cooking. And that's why when I said he liked his stir fry with less seasoning, I meant that. You have been a terrible mother, a toxic mother to the man, and it shows so clearly. I thought you would be shutting up and listening to me now, yet you keep on yapping. There's no way on God's green earth that my son hates my cooking. You're just saying all of this to try and get me to leave you both alone. No, actually, I'm not. Brent has said all of this himself. And by the way, another thing. The reason he and I haven't had any kids yet isn't because there's a problem with me. The doctor and therapist have told us that Brent's anxiety and stress has been the cause for our problem. What? But when it comes to the woman never becoming pregnant, it's always her fault, right? That way of thinking is about 100 years too old. Both Brent and I went in to see a doctor about this, and from the tests we had done, I was totally fertile and ready for a baby. But in Brent's case, there was a problem. And that problem most likely stems from him being so stressed all the time. Well, if that's the case, then he's only stressed because you are his wife and he hates you. And that's why I've been telling you to divorce him all this time. Well, actually, it's because you keep on talking like a prick. Right now, Brent is with me, looking at our conversation. But all he keeps saying under his breath is for you to shut up already. Brent is with you? I was just trying to call him, but he wouldn't pick up. I've been worried about him this whole time. Oh, Brent, you leave that witch right now and come back to your mother's side. He's laughing right now. He told me to tell you that from here on out, he's going to live his life instead of yours. Why would you say something like that, Brent? I've been raising you in such a strict manner for your sake. Yet after all that time spent helping you along, you're going to treat me like this? Oh, you can't be serious. All that time growing up under your care, Brent knew he couldn't do anything to resist you, and so he had to give in. But even giving in wasn't enough for you, so when he failed you, you made sure he knew that. And that's why he's no longer going to view you as anything more than a monster. If you really want your son to come back to you, then you need to fix the monster you've become first, and then ask him for forgiveness. Although that might not even be possible considering you've been that kind of creature all your life, and to that I just say forget about your son now. You were the one that pushed him away in your toxic ignorance and selfishness, and you will not be pulling him back. Shut the hell up! I am tired of this BS. Now come back here. I will not allow this. Understood. Please continue to cry about it then. Because no matter what you say to us, we are never coming back. We're going to start our new life together today, and that means Brent is going to start getting used to being my housewife. If you have a problem with that and want to complain, then come and find this house we bought outside of the U.S. Well, I'm sure you'll have all sorts of complaints, so you're going to find it very hard searching the whole entire globe in whatever life you have remaining. Somehow, after all of that, Jennifer had a change of heart and started to apologize and beg for Brent and I to come back. But her pleads for forgiveness did not faze either of us, and we told her to never ever contact us again. This did not completely stop her though, as we both kind of expected, and so she continued to send text after text and call after call to us both. So in the end, both Brent and I blocked her number and made sure to block her from viewing any of our social media accounts as well. As for myself and Brent, we had a whole new world surrounding the two of us that we needed to start our new life in. I am still working my same old job, of course, as that's how I got a visa to move out here. And now Brent is helping me with said job to make sure I keep with it. He's also gone and started his job of being the housewife, and so far he's been saying he really likes it. There's nothing that can really stress him out in the house, and when it comes to cooking, he's started to learn how to cook a lot more of the local foods in the country, since a lot of them seem to be really tasty. I've got to say, I'm really happy that the both of us made this move, as it won't only keep that monster away from the both of us, but it will also culture us and slowly help heal my husband. A few weeks later, we did hear some more news about Jennifer and how she's been planning on moving into the new house with us, so she had her old place sold before she moved out. But because there was no house of ours for her to live in anymore, she was left with nothing and had to start from scratch. She tried to squat in her old house for a little while as the new owner was in the middle of getting ready to move in. But when he came inside to find her sleeping on the ground, he called the police and she had to wake up to them putting her into handcuffs. She screamed and cried and all that to not be taken away, but the cops said that they had to because she was illegally trespassing on the owner's property. She was only given a small fine of around $500 after that arrest. And once she was released, she really did have nothing more than a bag of clothing and the money she got by selling the house. However, instead of using any of that money to get herself a new place, she instead put it all into alcohol and gambling, and is starting to go to a completely new level of her life in hell. Honestly though, both Brent and I, we don't care at all that she's most likely going to be homeless for the rest of her life. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Listen, Leah, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. You need to provide me with a better living environment. This place is just too small for two people. I want a house, not this dumpy trailer. One with a big porch, a sunroom, and a wine cellar too. After everything I've done for you, that's the least that I deserve.
The least you deserve is a house that would cost at least $750,000 in this area? I think you're asking for a bit too much. I'd also like to remind you that you're living off of my money right now. If you want to buy the house of your dreams, then make your own money. As for me, I am honestly fine with a small house.
You only say that because you're coping with the pain of being poor. You know that you want a big house just like I do.
If I had the money to buy a big house, I would have bought it a long time ago. And I certainly wouldn't be living here with you.
Excuse me? Don't you have any gratitude at all for continuing to allow you to live in my house?
Your house? It's Dad's house. I'm sure he would have liked to have bought something a bit nicer, but there were certain factors keeping him from being able to afford it. One factor was much bigger than the others, though. But really, if you're going to complain about the amount of support I'm giving you, then I'll just move out. Is that what you want?
I don't believe you. You would abandon your own mother? I didn't raise you to be such an ungrateful little wretch. What would you even do if you left home? It's not like you can make any money on your own. I think you should be showing me a lot more appreciation for putting up with you.
Oh, great. This conversation again? This has to be the third time this week.
We'll talk more about that attitude of yours later. In the meantime, I'm coming home soon. Is dinner ready yet?
Yeah, it's ready. No thanks to you. I opened up the fridge a couple hours ago, planning to take out what I had prepared earlier so I could reheat it. Imagine my shock, though, when I found the fridge almost completely empty. I had to go out and buy all new ingredients, too. That was enough food to feed both of us and have leftovers for tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Is eating food a crime now?
No, but if you keep eating that much, then we're going to have to reinforce the floor of the house with steel and concrete. Seriously, just buy your own food and stop eating all of mine.
How am I supposed to do that? You know fully well that I'm disabled and can't work. I've got crippling depression from dealing with the loss of my husband.
Dad's been dead for 5 years now, Mom. You're not so sad that you can't get a job washing dishes at a restaurant, or better yet, washing dishes at home, or doing any of the other housework that you never do.
I told you, doing the housework reminds me of your father. Do you want to make my depression even worse?
Why do I even bother? No matter what I say, you always just give me the same old tired responses. Anyway, I'm starting work now, so could you please be quiet when you get home? Oh, wait, that's right. We had this conversation yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that, and basically every single day since I started this job. And yet every single day you make as much noise as possible coming in the house, turning the TV on as loud as you possibly can. It's like you go out of your way to annoy me.
Oh, I am so terribly sorry for interrupting your silly little computer games. It must be terrible for you to have to deal with me being alive in the house. Tell me, Leah, what game are you going to play tonight,
I am not playing games. I am working. If I didn't do this job, then I wouldn't be able to pay the bills.
Maybe if you would get a real job instead of practicing to be a pro gamer, we would have enough money to live in a nicer house.
That's it. I am turning off my phone.
Hello, Leah. Your sister called and invited me out to dinner, so I'll be eating with her tonight. You won't believe this, Leah. She said her jerk of a husband up and left her. That poor thing. But I'm not too concerned about her. Unlike you, she's actually beautiful and has a pleasant personality, so she'll find a new husband soon.
Okay. And?
And? Is that all you have to say? I see you're still just as bitter and jealous of your sister as ever. I suppose you really can't help it. She's simply far superior to you in every way.
Oh boy, here we go again. Let's skip the usual verbal abuse and get straight to the point. What do you want?
You see, that attitude of yours is exactly why you'll never get married. Fine. What I want from you is very simple, actually. I'm going to give you your room to your sister. So pack your things and leave immediately.
Huh? Are you serious?
Would I joke about something like this? Your sister's husband abandoned her, you idiot. He left her with nothing. No house, no money, and no job. This must be the most difficult trial she's ever had to go through. It is my house, and I say that your sister is coming and you're leaving. So get out. Get it?
Yep, I read you loud and clear, Mom. You want me out? Say no more. I'll be gone before you get home tonight. Oh, and since this seems like the perfect time to ask you, how about I take my leave from the family entirely?
What? What do you mean?
You know, I just kind of disappear out of your life completely. We never talk again, and we disown each other. We sever any and all familial ties between us. Does that make sense? Oh, and don't forget, that includes Alice, too.
How pathetic. Listen to yourself. You sound like you did back when I took your phone from you as a teenager. But if that's what you want, then by all means, remove yourself from my life entirely. I don't need some useless poor girl who never shows any gratitude toward me whatsoever. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Oh, by the way, your sister is here with me too, and she has a message for you. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Never show your face around here again.
Wow, excellent. Sounds like all parties are in agreement then. Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and pack my things right this instant.
Make it quick. You said you'll be gone before I get home, and I'm going to hold you to that promise.
Yes, ma'am. Don't need to tell me twice.
Well, Leah, I never thought that getting rid of you would be so easy. All Mom had to say was, get out, and you actually left. Your room is completely empty, except for your bed, if you can even call this thing a bed. Where did you get this thing? At a thrift shop? There aren't even any marks on the wall where you had pictures or decorations up, though. Like, did you even actually live here? It legitimately looks like this room has been sealed up for the last 20 years.
I'm sorry, who is this? I think you might have texted the wrong phone number.
Seriously? You're gonna play it that way? You're such a little brat, Leah. I'm your sister, you idiot.
My sister? Sister. No, sorry, not ringing any bells. Oh, wait. Do you maybe mean the sister that I disowned yesterday? I thought the deal was that we would disappear from each other's lives. I had every intention of keeping my end of the bargain, so what are you messaging me for now?
Yeah, so, like I said, major brat. So pathetic. You've always been so obnoxious. You know that, right? And that's why you've never been able to get a boyfriend.
Didn't your husband dump you, yesterday? I don't know what makes you think you have any right to comment on another person's relationship status. Between the two of us, only one of us has driven a man away with our personalities. Are you trying to push me away the same way you did your husband? You don't need to do that. I'm already perfectly willing to go no contact with you if you'll just stop messaging me.
I did not drive my husband away. He left me because of his own selfish reasons.
Sure. Anyway, is that all you wanted to talk to me about? You just wanted to marvel about how empty my old room is?
Nah, I just wanted to gloat. I was just surprised by how pristine the room was. Like, did you actually even live here? Or did Mom make you sleep outside on the sidewalk?
As much as she would have liked that, no, I slept outside. Anyway, the reason the room looks like it was always empty is because, for all intents and purposes, it was. I only ever had the bare minimum essentials. It made life a lot easier for me in a lot of ways. Like, for example, it only took me about a minute flat in order to pack up all my physical possessions and clear out of the house.
Wait, are you being serious right now? That's hilarious. You're like a homeless guy who only has what he can fit in his stolen shopping cart. Mom tells me you're pretty poor, though. So is the real story that you had to sell everything you owned in order to have enough money to live on? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It saves me a lot of trouble, so I don't really care why your room was empty. It's not like I would want any of your garbage anyway. Like, I'll bet your clothes are all shabby and lame. I would have had to throw them away.
Okay, you done gloating? Can I go?
Yeah, I think that's enough gloating for now. But seriously, what's up with Mom? She says that she's so depressed that she can't work. This is the first time I've heard of it.
What's up with Mom? That's a very, very good question. What is up with Mom?
What the? You mean you don't even know? You've been living with her all this time, and you still don't even know anything about her condition?
Well, it's kind of a complicated story about her condition. Like, I'm not even sure whether her condition is actually a condition or not, but that's honestly irrelevant in the end. Whether it's real or not, nothing about how I deal with it changes, so I gave up thinking too much about it a long time ago.
Good grief, Leah. You really suck. You don't care at all about how Mom is doing. What kind of a daughter are you anyway? It's whatever, though. The important thing is that I'm here for her now. I'll take good care of her. Way better than you ever did anyway. With me here, I'll bet Mom's condition is going to recover instantly. Poor Mom. She's been putting up with your cold indifference all this time. I'll bet it's been nothing but torture having to live with you.
Yeah, it was excruciatingly painful. For me.
Wow, Leah. Mom was so totally right about you. You aren't even the least bit grateful to her for letting you live in her house all this time. I'm definitely going to be way better off without a crappy little sister like you.
Is that what Mom said? That I'm ungrateful and a crappy little sister? Okay, then it seems like we're done here. I wish the two of you all the happiness that you deserve.
Oh, I am really looking forward to when she gets home. We're going to have a great time together. But wow, Mom left the house pretty early in the morning. I wasn't even awake yet. I'll bet this is one of her coping mechanisms for dealing with her depression. And by depression, I mean you. And that's what it is, isn't it? She developed a habit of leaving the house before you woke up because you were always causing her grief. I feel so bad for her.
You seem like you have an awful lot of free time on your hands if you're still messaging me after all this time. Why don't you do something a little bit more productive? Like, I don't know, how about finding a job?
What's that supposed to mean?
You don't have a job, and you should probably get one. I'm not sure why you would be confused about what I mean. If you don't work, then things aren't going to work out very well for you and Mom.
I don't want to hear anything about getting a job from you. You just lock yourself in your room playing video games all day.
Wow, Mom sure has been telling you a lot about me, huh? Too bad it's all lies.
No, it's all the truth. Mom would never lie to me about you.
Maybe Mom thinks it's true, but if that's the case, then she's just plain wrong. Anyway, I'm getting pretty tired of this back and forth. No matter what I say to you, you come back with some kind of insult. This is why I wasn't surprised to hear that your husband left you, Alice.
If anything, I'm surprised he tolerated you as long as he did. I wouldn't have lasted through the honeymoon if I were him.
Uh-oh. Somebody's angry. You think anything you say hurts me? Please, girl. Nothing a loser like you says to me could ever hurt me.
Oh, I'm a loser, am I? I'm not sure what criteria you're basing that assessment of me on. If you're moving in with Mom, that means your life is over. Meanwhile, my life is finally going to begin, and there is no room in my new life for you two parasites, so just stay away from me. Got it?
Is that a threat? You don't scare me at all. I'll take you on just like when we were kids. Anyway, go on and wander off all alone.
That was what I was trying to do just now, but you keep texting me.
Oh, well, excuse me for interrupting. Were you on your way to die in a ditch somewhere?
Actually, I'm moving into my house. And with that, I am officially done. Goodbye, Alice.
Leah, please, you've got to help me. How did you handle living with Mom? How could anyone handle living with that woman? She is certifiably insane.
I'm sorry, who is this? I think you may have texted the wrong number.
Come on, for real now. Enough with these stupid games. You know it's me, your sister, Alice.
Sorry, but it looks like you do have the wrong number. I don't have a sister anymore. I've disowned both my sister and my mother. So if you happen to run into either of them, tell them I don't want to hear updates from them on exactly how their life is falling apart. I'm not their therapist. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to block your number to prevent this mistake from happening again.
Leah, wait! I need to know. How did you put up with Mom for this long? I just got my credit card statement for this month. Mom maxed it out. I'm on my credit limit. She never works. All she does is go out shopping with my money. And when she's at home, she never does any of the housework. She just sits on the sofa watching TV or messing with her phone. And don't get me started on her eating habits. She's literally eating us out of house and home. Everything I buy gets devoured within the day, even the snacks that I buy for myself and hide in my room. Why is she doing this?
I don't know. Why do birds fly and fish swim? That's just what she does. Now you know what I've had to deal with all this time. I told you it was excruciating living with her, didn't I?
Well, yeah, but I had no idea it was this bad. I thought you were just being a snotty little brat and exaggerating how bad Mom was.
And you thought wrong. I was being dead serious, and you should have heeded my warnings. But it's far too late for that. Thanks to you, I've been kicked out of the house. And let me tell you, Alice, that was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I can't thank you enough.
This is absolutely insane. I hadn't seen Mom for a while, so when we had dinner a while back, I was kind of surprised at how fat she had gotten. But now I can understand why. She literally does nothing but eat. That and spend other people's money.
Yeah, those are just about the only things she's good at. When you do nothing but eat, sleep, and spend money that's not yours, it's easy to become a slob. I keep trying to tell her to chill out on stuffing her face, but she always eats whatever I put in the fridge. Then, when I ask her to do chores, she would always cry and moan about her depression. It didn't take me very long before I just gave up trying to talk sense into her. I could either spend an hour trying to get her to do something only to have to do it myself, or just do it myself in the first place. So I ended up doing all the housework.
That's nuts. You mean you just did everything for her? Like a maid?
What choice did I have? If I didn't do the dishes, then no one would. Did she thank me for anything I did, though? Nope, not even a single time. Just like when she didn't thank me when she helped herself to my money.
What do you mean your money? You don't make any money. You don't work.
I know Mom told you that, but she's wrong. I work from home. She refused to work, so she burned through all the money Dad left her pretty quickly. So it was either I support the two of us or I go hungry.
I guess that makes sense. Mom said you guys didn't have a very good lifestyle, but you had what you needed.
She told you that? I don't want to hear any complaints about our lifestyle from her. She took my ATM card and stole my money. She should be grateful I allowed her to get away with that.
Wait, she really did that to you?
Yes, she certainly did, and now she's doing it to you. I told you, didn't I? Either get a job or it's not going to work out. You came strolling into Mom's house thinking she was going to take care of you, didn't you? Well, sucks to be you. She has other ideas. If the both of you are unemployed, then it's only a matter of time before you run out of money to pay for utilities. If you think it's tough to live with Mom now, wait until they shut off the electricity and water.
Leah, my savings are all completely gone. She took it all. I need you to come back to the house, okay? At this rate, we're gonna drive each other crazy.
I don't know, if you ask me, I'd say you're both already plenty crazy. Oh, and one more thing. Keep a watch on your ID cards. She might steal your identity to take out a loan.
Wait, has she actually done that to you before?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if she did. She has no problem draining all the money from all my bank accounts that she knew about.
Are you saying you have accounts she doesn't know about? Like, you were hiding money?
Maybe, maybe not. That information is on a need-to-know basis, and you don't. Just know that I had to make her think I was poor, or else she would have taken even more from me.
Leah, can't you please come back home and live with us? You can't be having an easy time with things on your own. Let's be a family again. What do you say?
Not a chance. I've already told you so many times now, Alice. I left because I wanted to leave, and I'm still glad that I did. You and Mom are a couple of freaks, and I want nothing to do with you anymore. Take care of yourselves somehow. Goodbye. For real this time.
Leah, please. You've got to help me. You need to come back home right away. Your sister is completely useless. I can't keep living like this. She's done absolutely nothing productive in the last month. She hasn't even started to look for a job.
What is with you guys? Am I the only non-psychopath in our bloodline?
I know I gave you flack for playing video games all the time, but at least you made money somehow. I'll take having some semblance of stability over living with Alice any day. That girl doesn't want to do anything but enjoy herself all day. She said she expects me to work. Can you believe that?
As much as I hate to agree with Alicia, yes, I can. It seems to me like both of you working part-time jobs would largely solve your problems.
You know I can't work because of my depression.
Come on, Mom. How long are you going to pretend to be depressed?
What did you say to me? You think I'm faking my depression?
I don't think. I know you're faking. I've been asking you for years to give me proof of your diagnosis, but you keep telling me no. Then, when you finally gave me some sort of document, it was clear to anyone that you made it yourself. That thing wasn't from a doctor. You misspelled psychology. So no, I know you're not depressed, Mom. You're just a garden variety lazy.
I don't understand why you're bringing that up now.
Because you gave me a chance to escape and I took it. So now I can finally say all the things I've been wanting to say. Anyway, if you're that determined not to work, then you have two choices. You can either try and find some way to convince or force Alice to work, or you can just start selling her stuff to pawn shops like you did to me.
I did no such thing.
I know you were taking my stuff to the pawn shop every time you left the house early in the morning. You're on your way back from selling Alice's stuff right now, aren't you?
Maybe.
Really, though, you didn't realize I was on to you? I thought you would take the hint when I got rid of most of my stuff in one swoop because you got the chance to sell it.
You mean you did that on purpose?
And there's the unintentional confession.
You really are an ungrateful girl, aren't you? The only reason I had to sell your things for spending money is because you didn't give me enough cash.
The money you were taking out of my bank account wasn't enough for you? Yes, I know about that, too.
For your information, no, it was not enough. But at least you had money to take and things to sell. Alice has nothing.
Yeah, because her husband took her to the cleaners in their divorce settlement. And honestly, after having her cheat on him for 10 years, I'm pretty glad for him.
Leah, I'll kick Alice out of your room. So won't you please come home?
Not a chance. I finally have my freedom. I bought my own house with my own money, and I'll never be your caretaker again. Now I'm going to finally do what I should have done years ago. I am blocking you. Goodbye. A while later, I ran into an old neighbor of ours in town. She told me that for a while after Alice moved in, she could hear them fighting just about every single night of the week. But once they ran out of food, they eventually resigned to the fact that they would both have to work. Things have apparently quieted down since then. As for me, are you curious what my job is? Actually, I'm making money posting on social media. I started out posting about how ridiculous life with my mom was. All of my posts were getting tens of thousands of likes. Then, when I sold most of my stuff to keep my mom from taking it, I got another idea and became a minimalist lifestyle influencer. That made me even more popular than before, to the point that I didn't need to complain about my mom to go viral. It's great to finally be free of constantly having to take care of my mom, and I'm more optimistic about my future than I have ever been.
How much longer are you going to keep me waiting, Alana? At this rate, I'll be 6 feet under by the time you give me grandchildren like I told you to. You have disappointed me to no end. Do you know that? What kind of a woman can't have one single baby? Honestly, I have a hard time even calling you a woman anymore. You're just a useless sack of meat. That's all you are. And to think we've allowed you the honor of living with us. How can you even bear with the shame of being such a disappointment to your mother and father-in-law? Well, I guess this means you heard the news. You got that right. My husband told me all about it. You went and lost another baby, didn't you? That poor baby. It had the misfortune of being placed into your godforsaken womb. It's all your fault, by the way. You're either eating too much or too little, exercising too much or too little, or working too much or too little. If you could manage to live a healthy, well-balanced lifestyle, you wouldn't keep murdering all the babies you conceive. I really wish I knew why this keeps happening to me. I know you're disappointed, and I am too, but I'm not giving up yet. Me and Ray are determined to have children, so we're going to keep trying. I know it's hard to wait, but wait and hope is all we can do. I've done so much waiting that I've completely run out of hope. Meanwhile, what have I gained from it? Just more and more years of my life waiting for grandchildren that never come. And what about you, The older you get, the lower your chances are of ever having a baby. Not to mention the risk of your babies having issues skyrockets. What are you going to do if you finally give birth to a child that's grotesque and deformed? I'd like to think that I would love that child with all of my heart because they're my child. I'm also not too comfortable with using words like grotesque to describe my baby, even if hypothetically. Well, someone has to give you a dose of reality. You can hardly even get pregnant at all, and every child you do conceive doesn't even last to the second trimester. You're damaged goods, there's no other way to put it. My daughter, however, there's a real woman. She's fantastic, perfect in every way. She got pregnant practically the very moment that she got married. Oh, is that right? I hadn't heard. Tell her I said congratulations. I don't think I will, actually. It wouldn't mean anything coming from you. You should see the pictures she gave me from her last checkup. The baby just keeps growing and growing and growing. Both mother and child are doing superbly. I'm sorry, Harriet. I don't think I can handle this conversation any longer. I just found out today that I had another miscarriage, and it's all I can do to hold myself together right now. Could you please leave me alone for a while? Who do you think you are, telling me what to do? The reason you're struggling so much is that deep down you know that it's all your fault. I'll bet you were bringing home a different man every night of the week until you met my son. I mean, you're a high school dropout. All you types are good at is breeding, crime, and receiving welfare. It seems clear to me that you're now receiving the comeuppance for your loose morals. That isn't true. I did not fool around like that. I've never received any welfare either. I worked hard to get where I am today. Oh, yes. Well, let's talk about where we are today, shall we? You're barren, dried up, infertile, useless. A woman's job is to have babies. That's what we're made for. And you can't even do the bare minimum of what it means to be a woman. What does that make you, Harriet? What reason do you have for living anyway? Being your son's wife, for starters. You know, I hate to admit it, but you're right. That imbecile son of mine dropped out of high school just like you did. So, yes, you're absolutely perfect for each other, a couple of useless idiots. Why do I even bother with you two? There's nothing in it for me. And you know what? I think it's time we put an end to this farce. You've disappointed me for the last time, Alana. I don't understand. I've been thinking about this for quite some time, and now my mind is made up. I want to live with my daughter and her husband, not with you. All right, so are you going to move? What? Oh, don't be ridiculous. You're the ones who are moving, not us. Wait, we're moving? What are you talking about? Note to self, don't bother talking to high school dropouts. They don't even understand the English language. I'll use small words so you'll be sure to understand. You and Ray are going to move out of this house, and my daughter and her husband are going to move in. And I've already discussed the plan with my daughter, so it's a done deal. Don't bother objecting. You don't have any right to refuse. This is awfully sudden. Have you talked to Ray about this yet? No, I've already wasted enough time talking to one high school dropout today. You can tell him yourself. Oh, and one more thing. My daughter's going to have a lot of expenses coming up. Just the hospital bill for the birth will likely be several $1,000s. You and Ray don't have to worry about leaving money behind for anyone, so you can give the lion's share of your income to her. We'll start with $3,000 a month and see how things go. You can't honestly expect us to do that. It's up to you, Alana. You could always pay the whole amount by yourself every month. That would prove your worth, wouldn't it? If a high school dropout like you can earn $3,000 a month, maybe I'll take back some of the things I've said about you. I shouldn't have to pay you money just to get you to stop belittling me. There's no way I would ever agree to do that. Why in the world would I pay a single cent to a sister-in-law who I don't even live with? After all, she's not a high school dropout, is she? She's more than capable of working to earn her own money. Shut up, you insolent little girl. You married into this family. You knew what you were getting into. I am your mother-in-law, and what I say is the law. You have no right to demand I move out. Shut your mouth and get packing this instant. This is unbelievable. I won't stand for this.
Hey, Alana. I am really sorry I couldn't answer the phone when you were calling me. I was in a meeting, so I had my phone turned off. I had no idea you were calling. I listened to your voicemail, though. This is just absolutely insane. I can't believe all of this is happening while I'm at work. Where are you right now? Are you doing okay? Your voice was trembling in your message. You seemed like you were really upset. Which, considering the circumstances, I can totally understand.
Hey, Ray, thanks for getting back to me. I'm better now, thanks. It took a while, but I managed to calm down. I'm really sorry to bother you while you're so busy at work. It's just, I was so shocked and confused by everything that the only thing I could think to do after your mom texted me was to call you. I bet it was just as surprising for you as it was for me.
You don't need to be worried about me at all. I'm fine. You're the one that I'm the most concerned about. I'm so sorry about my mom being the way that she is. If I would have just been more assertive with her, maybe she wouldn't be so harsh on you all the time.
I don't blame you at all, Ray. I'm sorry if that's how I came off, but that's not the case at all. It's just, well, she came at me talking about the baby again. I asked her as nicely as I could to drop the issue, that I wasn't in a place where I could talk about it right now. But then she just got even angrier at me and told me to pack up and move out. So I did.
Yeah, I know, and that's all right with me. Let's get the hell out of here, Alana. You and me. We'll move far away where she can't bother us anymore.
You mean you really do want to move?
Yeah, I've had all that I can take of this. I'm sorry I didn't make this decision sooner, honestly. It must have been terrible for you to deal with living with my mom for this long. It's just that I'm the oldest son of the family, so when my dad asked me what I thought about the four of us living together, I just went along with it. But now that I've seen the way that my mom is gonna treat my wife, I've known ever since I was a kid that she was on the strict side, but this is simply crossing the line. I can't stand to watch her bullying you anymore. You've put up with it for long enough. The thing is, I don't even think my mom knows I know what she's doing to you. She always puts on a good act while me and Dad are around, but the second that we leave the room, she starts right into criticizing you about every little thing. God, I don't know why I wasn't more straightforward in dealing with this. We minimized the time you two were alone together, and I was always talking to Dad about how great a wife you were while Mom was in earshot. I thought that would be enough, but I was so wrong.
It's okay, Ray, I know. You were doing the best that you could to protect me from your mom in your own way. I could have done more to be assertive with her myself. But with her being my mother-in-law and all, I guess I sort of figured that this was the way it was going to be. So I resigned myself to dealing with her harassment and held on to hope that one day she would come around and we could have a normal relationship. But now I can see that day is never going to come.
Those are my thoughts exactly. That's why I think the best thing we can do is to get as far away from her as we can. Fortunately for me, I have a job that I don't need to be in the office for, so we can move somewhere with better weather and a lower cost of living. That way we can finally live in peace together, and I'll be able to focus more on my work, too. I know you've got a lot of pent-up stress from the time that we've been living together with them, and you deserve a break, and a permanent one at that. And since Mom has conveniently kicked us out of the house, this seems like the best opportunity we could ask for. Let's get out of here tonight!
Ray, are you sure about this?
Of course I am! I've never been more sure about anything, other than the day I asked you to be my wife. You can leave all of the details to me. I'll handle everything. All you need to do is relax. Get a hotel room for us, take a nice bath, watch some TV, order some room service. You've got all the essentials packed up with you, right?
Yeah, I have all our valuables, clothes, everything is packed up.
Then it's settled. Once you get a room, let me know where. I'll get us 2 plane tickets for the first flight tomorrow morning.
Sounds great. Well. I have to admit I never thought it would be this easy to get rid of the two of you. I wonder what you failures are up to right now. I'll bet that useless woman of yours is curled up in a ball, crying her eyes out and pretending like she's not responsible for everything.
We're on vacation right now, Mom. We're far too busy enjoying ourselves to waste any time or energy dealing with you. What do you want with me anyway? If you have something to say, then say it. If you don't want to live with us anymore, that's fine. You're welcome to move out of the house whenever you'd like.
That's some awfully big talk coming from you. After all, we're the ones who allowed you the privilege of living with us all this time. Did you think we'd let you leech off us for the rest of your life?
Excuse me? Who's leeching off who now? You're the ones who are living in my house. I'm the one who bought that house. My name is on the deed. So if anything, you and Dad are the ones who are leeching off me. You know what's big talk? Trying to kick someone out of their own house like you did to me and Alana last night.
What? No, that's ridiculous. Stop these silly lies at once. This is your father's house, not yours. He's the one who pays for everything. How dare you try to claim credit for that?
I don't know what to tell you, Mom. You're just plain wrong. I have no idea where you got the idea that Dad's the one who bought the house. We're an old-fashioned family with old-fashioned values, and I don't have any opposition to that in principle. That's why I decided that as your oldest son, letting you live with us would be a good way to honor the two of you for bringing me into this world. But that was before I saw the way you were treating Alana. I've changed my mind.
That can't be true. Oh, I get it. You must have borrowed the money to buy the house from your father.
Nope. Wrong again. I haven't borrowed 1 single cent from you or Dad. The house is mine, plain and simple, so you don't have any right to kick us out.
I had no idea. Well, in any case, you're leaving, aren't you? That's fine. You can simply sign the deed over to your father and I. I think that would be a fitting way to repay you for everything we've done for you all your life. Really, anything less than giving up the house would be a disgraceful act of betrayal.
Exactly what have you done for us, Mom? Can you name a single thing? I don't even think you've washed a single dish or cooked a single meal in all the time you've lived with us. You just verbally abused Alana while she did everything.
All I was doing was telling her how to be a better housekeeper. I mean, that woman can't do anything right. She can't even keep a baby alive inside of her for more than a month or two. I'll bet you regret marrying her every single time you see her face.
Don't you dare insult my wife like that! My God, you are such a thick-headed old hag! What do I have to do to get you to stop insulting my wife?
What did you just call me? You can't talk to me that way. I'm your mother. I thought you couldn't disappoint me any more than the day you dropped out of high school. But now I see that your stupidity, insolence, and lack of respect truly knows no bounds. I think marrying that stupid girl has only made you even dumber than you already were.
You can call me stupid as much as you like, Mom. I've heard it all already. You can't hurt me anymore. But I am not going to allow you to insult Alana anymore. Did you even know that her dad died back when she was just a kid? Her mom had to raise her and her sister all by herself. Alana willingly dropped out of high school in order to work so the family would have enough money to live on and her little sister would be able to go to college. You were fortunate enough to be born into a moderately wealthy family, so you were free to go to any college you wanted. And if going to college was what turned you into the vile, narcissistic monster you are now, then I'm glad I dropped out of high school.
Ugh, and there it is, sour grapes. You're too stupid to get a college degree, so you cling to any excuse you can find to convince yourself you don't want one. If you want my advice, just stop talking about the subject altogether. Every single word you say only makes you look dumber.
You don't like living with an idiot like me, huh? Well, then how's about you get out of that idiot's house? This is your warning. You're not welcome there anymore. I am officially ordering you to vacate the premises immediately.
That's adorable. You think you can tell me what to do? Well, too bad. I'm having a jolly old time here with your sister and her husband. The two of you can go and find a comfortable cardboard box to sleep in for all I care.
Right. Enjoy living there while you can. It's not gonna last much longer.
Hey, what's going on, Alana? When are you going to send $3,000 you owe me for this month? I have bills to pay, you know. You want to know when I'm going to send it? Okay, here's your answer. Never. Like, did you actually expect that I was just gonna do what you say? Of course you have to do as I say. I'm your mother-in-law. What I say is law, remember? I don't have a job, so how am I supposed to pay for everything I need without the money I demanded from you? Oh my God, this is rich. You actually thought I was gonna do it. And even better, you thought that telling me that you're unemployed was going to make me more likely to give you money? If you want some help paying your bills this month, here's some free advice for you. Get a job, you lazy old bag. You snotty little upstart, you can't talk to me that way. I deigned to allow you to marry my idiot son. Don't you feel any gratitude to me at all? Let me see. Nope, none at all. You haven't even done a single thing for me that I should be grateful for. And to top it all off, you told me to get out of my own house. As far as I'm concerned, that right there was a declaration of war. We're not family anymore. That is not for you to decide. As long as you're married to my son, you must do as I say. And another thing, what's this nonsense someone from the sheriff's office gave me today? Something about a writ of possession? Didn't the sheriff explain what it meant when he gave it to you? It's simple. Ray told you to get out of the house, didn't he? And yet here you are, 4 weeks later, still living in his house. So he decided to take the legal remedies against you that are available to him. This was the first step in the eviction process. Nonsense! Absolute nonsense! This is my house! And just what gives him the right to make that claim, Just so you know, we have a lawyer who's taking care of everything for us. If you don't comply with the writ of possession, then we'll just have to escalate our case against you. But you can't do that!
We can, actually, and your daughter and her husband are cool with it. I was planning on heading back there soon to talk to them about it, but they were surprisingly quick to agree to leave when I talked to them. So you're the only person who's being difficult. Wait, they've already agreed to leave? They haven't said anything about that to me. Your daughter's husband is quite a reasonable guy. I told him all about how you kicked me out of my own house to let them live there, then tried to extort me for $3,000 a month. It seems that he was under the impression that they were just going to be staying with you for a week or so. Then a week turned into 2 weeks, then into a whole month. Then he finally discovered that they were moving in with you. He wasn't very happy to be deceived like that. Plus, he was absolutely stunned by how lazy you were and how little you helped out around the house. If they didn't tell you anything, it's probably because he's just been avoiding talking to you. He's already told your daughter that they're moving out, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Is that why he seemed so distant these last few weeks? I thought he was just being childish about the whole thing. By the whole thing, you mean you and your daughter lying to him, right? Oh, and speaking of lies, let's think back to the day of our wedding. You were working the reception desk, and you took the liberty of taking all the cards containing money for safekeeping. Whatever happened to that money? Well, oh, don't bother, I already know. You gambled it all away. Hold on, this doesn't make any sense. How? How did you know about that? What do you think I am, Harriet? A 5-year-old? You said you were going to hold on to it for safekeeping, and that was the last we ever heard of it. We were obviously going to get suspicious about where all that money went at some point. Plus, why would we need you to keep it safe for us anyway? We had a locked box there at the reception table for people to put it in. Oh, and as long as we're on the topic of you taking other people's money, we also went ahead and told your husband about how you spent all of Ray's savings, too. What? There's no way. There is no possible way you could know about that. I never even told Ray. Yeah, neither of us ever knew about a savings account in Ray's name until your husband told us about it. He asked us what we ended up doing with that money, at which point I turned to Ray, only to see a shocked expression on his face. Your husband had no idea about all the money being gone, so that means you must have used it all yourself. You started out by putting money in there regularly for his birthday, Christmas, and other special occasions. But then one day, all of a sudden, you started making some large withdrawals. That was when you started gambling, wasn't it? Tell me what's going on right now! How did you know about all the money I took out? Don't you know how banks work? It's Ray's account, so obviously he has the right to view a simple transaction history. That's how we know exactly how much was in there and how much you took out. I haven't done anything wrong. I'm the one who put that money in there in the first place. I had every right to use it how I pleased. Really, Harriet, it's all right. You don't need to embarrass yourself by trying to justify what you did. Ray isn't even all that broken up about it. He never even knew that money existed in the first place, so he doesn't feel like he lost anything. And besides, that's not even the real reason I'm angry at you. Do you remember why Ray dropped out of high school? What? Why are you bringing that up all of a sudden? For as long as I've known you, you've been constantly looking down on the two of us for being high school dropouts. You even did some of the most childish name-calling I've ever heard from someone as old as you. If you want to mock me, that's fine, but not Ray. The entire reason he dropped out of high school was because your husband got injured and lost his job. He didn't even think twice about sacrificing his own future in order to ensure that the family's needs were met, and so his little sister could follow her college dreams. So he dropped out of high school and started working. Oh, I suppose he did. But he's a man, isn't he? That's what men are supposed to do, work to support their family. Wow, isn't that something? You have an incredible ability to invent the worst excuses possible for your bad behavior out of thin air. You can't believe that it's a man's role to work for the family and use that to justify making Ray work in your husband's place. Or you can believe that high school dropouts are all morons and use that as justification to mock and demean your son for dropping out. You can't have it both ways, though. Plus, aren't you forgetting another able-bodied person in your household? You mean my daughter? I mean you idiot. You could have at least gotten a part-time job. That, plus your husband's disability benefits, should have been more than enough to allow Ray to finish high school and go on to college. Not to mention all the money that Ray had in his bank account. If if you had given him that money instead of using it on yourself, he would have been able to go to college with no problem. Why are you so determined to dredge up all these matters that are over and done with anyway? Can't we move on and think about the future? Oh, don't worry, we're getting there. You never told any of this to your daughter either, and your husband was opposed to your decision not to work at the start. But then, wouldn't you know it, you came down with a severe depression and couldn't work. One that was never properly diagnosed, by the way. You made that all up, didn't you? You can't prove I made it up! Then can you show me an official diagnosis? I lost it years ago and I'm better now! I see. So you still won't fess up, huh? Well, I think you'll have a much harder time dodging responsibility once our lawyer comes after you. He's very good, I should warn you. Once we give him the go-ahead, he'll swoop in on you like a hawk. We'll get all the information we need to crush you in no time. You have no chance against us in court, unless you can somehow hire yourself a lawyer as good as ours. But you don't really have that kind of money, do you? I'll be fine. All I need to do is ask my husband for the money and I'll hire a lawyer better than yours. Oh, Harriet, you poor thing. You still don't get it, do you? Your husband knows everything now. He's not going to take your side. Actually, he apologized to Ray for not catching on to you sooner. Even if your daughter has had a massive change of heart, once she found out that Ray sacrificed his own dreams in order to support her, she rushed right over to thank him for everything and apologize for not treating him better. We're having a little family conference right now. What? Right now? That's right. Pretty good timing, isn't it? I knew you'd be going to the casino today, so I called everyone over here to have a little chat about you. I was hoping to get everyone in the family to choose whose side they would take before going any further. And do you know how many of them said they were going to side with you? 0. Not one single person. I was planning on filling you in on the results of our meeting at a later date, but since you went out of your way to text me, I thought I might as well let you know right now. You mean you knew I was at the casino? Yes, and I'm guessing that you're most likely standing in front of their ATM machine right now. You were just about to withdraw the money you assumed I would send you to hit the tables, but instead saw a big fat 0. That's why you texted me, isn't it? You're so transparent. As for why I know you're at the casino, we hired the best lawyer around, who just so happens to know the best private detective around. He told us all about your typical schedule, including when you go and do your gambling. If you'll just wait there a moment, the family and I are heading inside to talk to you right now. Just do us a favor and don't try and run. It'll only delay the inevitable. When we all went inside, Harriet was making a mad dash to the restroom. However, one of the casino security guards got to her before we did. It seems as though she wasn't coming to gamble today. She was coming to pay off her gambling debts. That's why she was so desperate to get her hands on my money. The guard was kind enough to let us have first dibs at her, though, and did us the favor of allowing us to use their conference room free of charge. My father-in-law didn't even have to say a single word to her for her to crack. All he needed to do was stand there and stare at her, his face beet red with shame and anger. Harriet immediately dropped to her knees and started begging us for forgiveness. Seeing such an old woman so desperate like that was pretty hard to watch, but at the same time, it was super satisfying. Now that she knew the truth about her brother, Ray's sister's attitudes towards us changed completely, and we have a pretty good relationship now. She and her husband both said they don't want anything to do with Harriet anymore. As for me and Ray, cutting ties with Harriet has brought a new sense of peace to our lives. Without the stress of dealing with Harriet's constant abuse, I was able to get pregnant soon afterward. I'm several months into my pregnancy, and the baby is growing healthy and strong. Naturally, Harriet was divorced by her husband and had to start a new life on her own. Couple that with her gambling debts, and that means she has to do the one thing she's been doing her best to avoid for all her life: work. It doesn't seem like her college degree is helping her out, though. She gets interviews, but once they see what a terrible person she is, they transition right into, actually, the position has already been filled.